We've enjoyed conspiracy theories. We've endured lies and areas of darkness. But if we stay together, black, white, Latina, Asian, Indian American, if we stay together, joy, joy.
It will come in the morning.
Joy coming in the morning.
The Reverend Al Sharpton. Haven't seen him preach in a while. And it's good to see he's still out there.
I want to now, since I was a teenager, I was mentored by Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Yes.
And Reverend Jackson taught us to fight for what's right. And now I want to bring out some young men that I fought for. I referred to them then. They were known as the Central Park Five.
This is going to be a great story. Look that up, the Central Park Five. They're about to tell their story.
Now they are the exonerated five. Raymond Santana, Kevin Richardson, Yusef Salam, Corey Weiss, the exonerated five.
Look at them. They're happy. I would be too. Let's see if we're going to hear their story. Let's see 4. Here we go.
Good evening, people. My name is Corey Wise. 35 years ago, my friends and I were in prison for a crime we did not commit. Our youth was stolen from us. Every day, as we walked into courtroom, people screamed at us, threatened us because of Donald Trump. He spent $85,000 on a full-page ad in the New York Times.
Heard about
calling for our execution. We were innocent kids, but we served a total of 41 years in prison. Reverend Al Sharpton stood with us. Now, I'm proud to stand with him today. Vice President Kamala Harris has also worked to make things fairer. I know she will do the same as president. Now prove that message.
All right.
I love these guys. These are my brothers. These are my brothers. Yes, indeed. America. I am Yusef Salam. A New York City councilman representing my hometown of Harlem.
Wow, he really gave that. You're right, you got to applaud that.
Representing my hometown of Harlem, USA. And listen, as my friend Corey Wise just said, 45 wanted us unalive. He wanted us dead. Today, we are exonerated because the actual perpetrator confessed and DNA proved it. That guy says he still stands by the original guilty verdict. He dismisses the scientific evidence
Wow.
rather than admit he was wrong. He has never changed, and he never will.
Mm.
That man thinks that hate is the animating force in America. It is not. We have the constitutional right to vote. In fact, it is a human right. So let us use it.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to walk with us. I want you to march with us. I want you to vote with us.
You might start getting the black men vote.
And together,
There's Jesse Jackson, Reverend Jesse Jackson.
and let me tell you, this is going to be so beautiful. And together on November 5th, we will usher in Kamala Harris and Tim Walz into the White House. So I want to do this. When I say one day, I want you to say, see us. One day, one day, when they see us, America will finally say goodbye to that hateful man.
Mm.
We will say what I have said after 7 long years of wrongful incarceration. Free at last.
Mm.
Free at last. Free at
Free at
last.
last. Thank
Thank
God
God
Almighty.
Almighty. We are
Yes,
free
free
at
at last.
last.
Woo.
God bless you. And God bless the United States of America.
Look at that.
All right.
So you're watching, keeping it honest. Yours truly, Anthony Parker Alexander. We're going to get back to that in a second. But you had Al Sharpton on there. And we're going to give a little information too, getting this right off my phone, about the Central Park 5. This is from the Central Park jogger case. So here it goes. The Central Park jogger case, sometimes called the Central Park 5 case, was a criminal case concerning the assault and rape of Tricia Melly, a woman in Central Park in Manhattan, New York, on April 19, 1989. On the night of the attack, dozens of teenagers had entered the park, and there were reports of muggings and physical assaults. Okay, so that took place then. 6 teenagers were indicted in relation to her assault. Charges against one, Stephen Lopez, were dropped after Lopez pleaded guilty to a different assault. The remaining 5, Anton McCrae, Kevin Richardson, Yusuf Salam, Raymond Santana, and Corey Wise, known as the Central Park 5, later the Exonerated 5, were convicted of the charged offenses and served sentences ranging from 7 to 13 years. Wow. More than a decade after the attack, while incarcerated for attacking 5 other women in 1989, here's a flip of the story. Serial rapist Mateus Reyes confessed to the Melania assault and claimed he was the only actor. DNA evidence confirmed his involvement. So he had 5 people claim for raping this one girl when it was one person. So the convictions were vacated in 2002. Lopez's convictions were vacated in July 2022. So let me see. All 5 defendants sued the city of New York for malicious prostitution, racial discrimination, and emotional distress. The city settled the suit in 2014 for $41 million. Wow. So all of them got money, I guess, I'm trying to see where Trump comes in this at. And you're watching, keeping it honest with yours truly, Anthony Parker Alexander. Here we go. On May 1st, 1989, Donald Trump, at the time a real estate magnate, called for the return of the death penalty for murder in full-page advertisements published in all four of the city's major newspapers. So he wanted the death penalty against these people. And he put full-page ads. So that's what they were saying there. And this is what I'm reading. So this was true. Trump said he wanted the criminals of every age to be afraid. The advertisement, which cost an estimated $85,000, if you equivalent today, it would be $209,000, said in part. So this is the ad that he said. Mayor Koch has stated that hate and rancor should be removed from our hearts. I do not think so. I want to hate these muggers and murderers. They should be forced to suffer. Yes, Mayor Koch. I want to hate these murderers, and I always will. How can our great society tolerate the continued brutalization of its citizens by crazed misfits? Criminals must be told that their civil liberties end when an attack on our society begins. Wow. So a lot of people looked at that ad and said, we condemn this. One of the attorneys defending the defendants said that the ad proved that anything is possible in America and that even a fool can become a multi-millionaire. And one of the guys that was, on trial, Yusuf Salam, you just heard him, he said that Trump was the fire starter in 1989, as common citizens were being manipulated and swayed into behaving that we were guilty. He said his family received death threats after papers ran Trump's full-page ad urging the death penalty. So you know what would be interesting? They've always asked, has Donald Trump ever apologized? Wouldn't it be interesting for Donald Trump and these Central Party Five, or what they used to be known as, to meet up and talk? And I'm saying, as I keep it honest, if Donald Trump sits down, because right now we don't know if everything's going his way or not, but somebody says to him, hey, Donald, look, you took some heat. The five guys you wanted to be murdered back then are out there supporting Kamala. Why don't you do a meetup and sit with those five guys and tell them you apologize? Yeah, it may be uncomfortable. Yeah, it may have been something that took place, what's that, 89? So that's 36 years ago. But look how you might get some respect. And maybe that will be the time where they're taking this media honeymoon off of Kamala and going to you to sit down with the accusers that you were paying money to say, do whatever you got to do for these guys. And then they were found innocent. Apologize to them. And we know you hate apologizing anything, but you're wrong on this. So what would you do to try to win? And don't you think that the media will really be on you for that? Now, remember, you heard it here. Keeping it honest. Yours truly, Anthony Parker Alexander. What do you think about that? Should Trump get together with these five guys? I saw four. And have a sit down and apologize and maybe really mean it? What do you think? Politics, you'll do anything for political gain. Would Trump do that? And I'm going to keep throwing that out there too. So remember, you've heard this first on Keeping It Honest. Yours truly, Anthony Parker Alexander.